Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Psychology Network, your one stop solution for all your psychology exams. Today we will be talking about the topic neurotransmitters. This you can find it in Unit 4 of your UGC Net syllabus. So I decided to do this very in a very crisp way with all the knowledge, all the information about neurotransmitters because even in the standard books, I feel it is very difficult for me to understand neurotransmitters and study because there might be one chapter on neurotransmitters, but the the information about neurotransmitters, I feel it's all throughout the books, and I have to combine them first, search and combine, and then start studying. So this presentation is a very crisp and a short way with all the knowledge you need before your exams. You just need to watch this and you would be revised in everything you need to know about neurotransmitters for your psychology exams specifically. So, I would like to first start by talking about neurotransmitters and its types. So, this small molecule, large molecules, these are depending on the division is done on depending on the protein structure of the enzymes. Now the thing is, we don't need to know this. Just keep in mind it's depending on the protein structure. So I can just say that this division has been done on the basis of biochemistry. Now, small molecule, large molecule, all the important ones in psychology. Not again, of course, every neurotransmitter is important, but from the point of view of the exam, if you see, the neurotransmitters which come usually are all in under small molecules. See, glutamate, GABA, dopamine, epinephrine, norepinephrine, your serotonin, all are under your small molecules. For large molecules, see, all of them are peptides. So any kind of peptide, you might not remember the name, but it is advised that you remember these names. But if you for some reason forget the name and you see the word only peptides, and the question is it from the large molecule or the small molecule, it all the peptides would be from the large molecule. Now, under small molecules, we have amino acids, monoamines, acetylcholine, and unconventional neurotransmitters. So, the four divisions, and under amino acids we have the glutamate, aspartate, glycine, and GABA. Under monoamines, again there is two division, catecholamines, under which you have your dopamine, epinephrine, and norepinephrine. And under indolamines you have your serotonin. Acetylcholine is in itself a group, and for unconventional neurotransmitters, you have your soluble gases and endocannabinoids. And for large molecules, you have all your peptides. Now, this is the second division of neurotransmitters, and this division has been done on the basis of their functions. Now, this is what I was talking about. Some books talk about neurotransmitters on the basis of their function. Some talk about on the basis of their chemistry. And I haven't still seen a book which has both of them. So it is like I have to combine 3 4 books to study one chapter of neurotransmitters. So this PPT I have devised only for you guys to understand in short, and you don't have to go through 3 4 books to understand. So now under neurotransmitters, we have the excitatory, inhibitory, neuromodulators, and your neurohormones. You would see that few neurotransmitters are there in excitatory, inhibitory, and even in neuromodulators. You can see dopamine is here, dopamine is also here, dopamine is also here. Again, You can see serotonin is under inhibitory, but serotonin is under also a neuromodulator. So they do dual things. Coming to the next, this is a flow chart how major neurotransmitters have come into being. So, like L-DOPA or DOPA is the precursor of dopamine. Norepinephrine is made from dopamine, and epinephrine comes from norepinephrine. Then your acetylcholine comes from your choline, which is choline, and your acetyl coenzyme A. And then your serotonin also comes from tryptophan. You can what is the precursor of dopamine? You should remember L-DOPA. You should remember acetylcholine is made from choline plus your acetyl coenzyme A. So these few things you must remember, that like the names of tyrosine, phenyl alanine is something you would also study in anomalies. So these few names you must remember. Now I have talked about few neurotransmitters which are very important for psychology specifically, and where they are released from, and most importantly their functions. Like acetylcholine usually is at the neuromuscular junctions and at the synapses of ANS, and acetylcholine is broken down by the enzyme of acetylcholine sterase, this one. And neurons that release acetylcholine are said to be cholinergic. Now, what are the functions? It regulates the sleep cycle and muscle functioning. It's important for other functions as well, but the most important ones for again psychology, I have added those. Like a neurological disorder, psychiatry plus neurological disorder I can talk about is Alzheimer disease. It's a neurodegenerative disorder, and it is associated with lack of acetylcholine. When acetylcholine uh, is depleted in the brain areas, then there is a chance that Alzheimer disease can be formed. Going to the next one, it is norepinephrine. Norepinephrine is released from the brainstem, hypothalamus, and the adrenal glands. The function is it keeps us alert, and it helps us to maintain blood pressure in the times of stress. Also affects our sleep-wake cycle, mood, and memory. Depression is believed to be caused by depletion of majorly serotonin and dopamine, and also norepinephrine. So you have to keep in mind, if there is a MCQ and there is no dopamine or serotonin in those um, four answers, so-called answers, which is given you from where you have to choose. And if you see no serotonin, dopamine, and there is norepinephrine, so you have to choose norepinephrine because it does play a role in depression. Moving on to epinephrine. Epinephrine is released again from the adrenal gland, and the functions are it plays a very important role in fight and flight. Usually, in stressful situations, either fight or flight. So, epinephrine works here. And epinephrine is also actually known as adrenaline. And the previous one, norepinephrine, is known as noradrenaline. Then comes your dopamine. Dopamine is released from your substantia nigra. It inhibits unnecessary movements, inhibits release of prolactin, but the most important is it helps you to feel pleasure, satisfaction, and motivation. Again, dopamine also works in depression. If there is low dopamine, then there is depression. It also works in one more uh, disorder, disease, that is schizophrenia. Then we have your GABA. GABA is released from the spinal cord, cerebellum, basal ganglia, and the function is it reduces neuronal excitability by inhibiting nerve transmission. Then coming to serotonin, and this is your last neurotransmitter which I'm going to talk about. So we talked about GABA, dopamine, epinephrine, norepinephrine, and acetylcholine. The last we will be talking about serotonin. So these are the most important neurotransmitters, and these functions you have to keep in mind. Serotonin is released from the brain stem, and actually 95% of the serotonin is in our gut. And the function of serotonin is uh, mostly you can see in mood, sleep, digestion, and sexual desire. So, and if serotonin decreases, then there is a chance of depression. And another disorder, which is your OCD. So this was all about your neurotransmitters and the different neurotransmitters, where it is secreted, and the most important which you have to know about all five of them which I taught is the functions. So thank you so much for listening. If you liked the video, please subscribe to the channel Psychology Network, and thank you for listening and have a great day.